I'm Chris Merrill, Executive Director of the Equality State Policy Center. I'm here to speak in opposition to this bill and to ask you respectfully to vote it down today. We oppose this bill for a simple but essential reason, and that's that elections matter. The results of elections matter, and the reason they matter is because we honor the results and we give the winners a term to do the job. And to put a finer point on it, Mr. Chairman, we already have a tried and true red, white, and blue way of removing elected officials that we don't like from office. It's called an election. And it's one of this country's greatest traditions. And it's a great Wyoming tradition too. We hold fair elections here and we honor the results. This bill would create a new avenue for not honoring the results. It would allow a minority of voters who wanted another candidate to win to basically force a do-over election, hoping to get a different result this time. It would be a new avenue for those who lost the election or didn't get the person they wanted elected to create an ongoing campaign against the rightful winner and use this official mechanism to cast aspersions, sow doubts with voters, and create an air of controversy and negativity around any elected official they don't like. So while supporters of this bill might argue that it's heightened democracy, I'd argue that it would, in practice, be incredibly unfair to our public service servants and anti-democratic. Mr. Chairman, I'd argue that the way we support our democracy and ensure it will endure is by honoring the results of our elections, period. And if we want somebody else in that office, we have the freedom and power to try to get a different person elected in the next regular election. And when somebody wins an election, we honor their service, regardless of whether we agree with everything they do. Finally, Mr. Chairman, I believe if this bill were to become law, it would have some unfortunate unintended consequences, not the least of which is that it would discourage civic-minded people from running for municipal office and serving their communities. It would discourage service because people would know, even if they won the election, they could be forced at any moment by a minority of voters to spend yet more time and more money rerunning the race, defending themselves, and defending their right to serve in the office they already won. This situation would not strengthen our democracy, it would undermine it, because it would force many public servants to basically be in campaign mode all the time. Serving on the city council or as a mayor in one of our small communities in Wyoming is already hard enough. It's time consuming and it's often a pretty thankless job. Nobody in Wyoming serves on their local city council for fame and fortune and prestige. Everybody I've ever met in one of these positions has sought the office out of a sense of civic duty because they want to try to solve problems, because they want to try to contribute something positive to their communities. And there are already plenty of disincentives for people to seek to serve in these offices in Wyoming. I think it would be unwise to further discourage service through a measure like this one before you. So let's honor our Constitution and our great tradition of public service in the state by honoring the results of our elections and saying no to bills like this one. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll conclude my testimony and I'm happy to try to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Merrill and the SBC? I'm not seeing any currently, Mr. Merrill, but thank you for being here. Always appreciate it. Don't go too far.